Okay, good afternoon history buffs and history lovers. Welcome sa isang bagong episode ng History by Bike. Pero sa episode natin na to, hindi muna tayo magbabike. Pero pag-uusapan natin yung nangyaring pagdakip noon kay President Emilio Aguinaldo noong March 1909. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is History by Bike. At tatalakayin natin ang pagdakip kay President Emilio Aguinaldo. On March 23, 1901, General Emilio Aguinaldo was captured by the American forces led by General Frederick Funston with the help of Macabebe scouts in Palanan, Isabela. Earlier, on February 8, 1901, six tired guerrillas led by Cecilio Sigismundo, an Ilocano and Aguinaldo's trusted messenger who carried important dispatches, surrendered to the Americans. Some of the dispatches Sigismundo was carrying were coded and signed with Pastor and Colon de Magdalo, pseudonyms often used by General Aguinaldo. In addition, Sigismundo revealed that Aguinaldo had no more than 50 guards in the village and pinpointed Aguinaldo's headquarters as the village of Palanan in the mountainous Isabela province in northeastern Luzon near the Pacific coast. Funston, aided with the help of Lazaro Segovia, deciphered the messages. Most important of the messages was an order to General Baldomero Aguinaldo instructing him to send more troops to Palanan. Segovia was a former Spanish army officer who had defected to the Philippine Army and then switched allegiance to the American side. Segovia understood English, Spanish, and the Tagalog dialect. With this information in hand, Funston and his staff began to formulate a plan for Aguinaldo's capture. Funston disguised the Macabebes and sent them to Palanan, posing as the men Aguinaldo had requested. Funston and four other American officers, disguised as prisoners of war, accompanied the column. 78 handpicked Macabebes were members of Company D, 1st Battalion, Macabebe Scouts, and spoke Tagalog in addition to their dialect. They turned in their Springfields and were issued 50 Mausers, 18 Remingtons, and 10 Krag Jorgensens, which were the types of rifles used by the Aguinaldo soldiers. 20 of them wore the Rayadillo uniform of the Philippine Army. The Macabebes are a certain tribal clan, natives of Macabebe, Pampanga, who look no different from all other Filipinos, but who had, under the Spanish government, by reason of long-standing feuds and with their more rebellious neighbors, came to be absolutely loyal to the Spanish authorities. When the Americans came, they had transferred that loyalty to them and had become a recognized and valuable part of American military force. The American government, jubilant over Aguinaldo's capture, authorized the formal inclusion of the Macabebes into the Philippine Scouts, a special unit of the U.S. Army. In addition to Sigismundo, Funston included in the column Hilario Tal Placido, Lazaro Segovia, Dionisio Bato, and Gregorio Cadhit. Hilario Tal Placido had been a lieutenant colonel in the Philippine Army and knew Aguinaldo personally. So umabot na tayo dun sa punto ng kwento natin na naglakbay yung grupo nila Frederick Funston kasama yung ilang piling tauhan niya na Amerikano, kasama yung mga makabebe, at ginamit nila yung barkong USS Vicksburg at tumawid ang Vicksburg mula Manila Bay paibaba ng Luzon, tumagos sa San Bernardino Strait hanggang sa binaybay niya yung tabihan ng kanlurang Luzon. So yun yung daan na tinahak nila, yung paglalakbay nila. Tapos ibinaba sila sa Kasiguran Bay, at mula Kasiguran Bay kinailangan nilang magbutas ng daan para tunguhin yung Palanan, Isabela. At may usapan na sila noon na yung barko na Vicksburg ay lalayo para hindi yan sila malata na merong binaba ng mga tao dun sa may Kasiguran. At ang usapan nila, magkikita na lang sila sa Palanan 11 araw makatapos silang lumapag sa may Kasiguran. Some months previously, Funston had captured General Urbano Lacuna's seal and official signed correspondence. From this material, 2 letters were forged, supposedly from Lacuna to Aguinaldo. One letter contained information as to the progress of the war. The other stated that in accordance with instructions from General Baldomero Aguinaldo, he was sending 80 men to Palanan under the command of Placido, Segovia, and Sigismundo. Accordingly, Funston feared that the whole Filipino people were a secret service ready to warn Aguinaldo should a carefully concocted ruse be discovered anywhere along the journey. So they sailed through the USS Vicksburg, making it appear that it was an ordinary command, went down to the southern end of Luzon and through the San Bernardino Straits into the Pacific Ocean, and thence up the east coast of Luzon to Kasiguran Bay, about 100 miles south of Palanan, landing at Kasiguran Bay, March 14th. With the ship's lights screened to avoid detection, the Vicksburg at once departing out of sight of land and agreeing to meet them off Palanan, their destination, on March 25th, 11 days later. Finally, Funston reached Palanan on the 23rd, the prisoners quite far in the rear. Placido got safely into Aguinaldo's presence, followed at a short distance by the main body of his Macabebes. Aguinaldo's lifeguard of some 50 men, neatly uniformed, presented arms as Placido entered the insurgent headquarters and thereafter waited at attention outside. Then the worthy Placido entertained Aguinaldo with a few cock and bull stories about the march across country, etc., made obediently to the president's order, keeping a weather eye out of the window all the time. Meanwhile, the day earlier, March 22, was Aguinaldo's birthday. His headquarters was still adorned with garlands from the previous day's celebration. As soon as the Macabebes had come up and formed facing the Aguinaldo guards, Placido went to the window and ordered them to open fire. This they did, killing 2 of the insurgents and wounding their commanding officer, Colonel Simeon Villa. The rest fled, panic-stricken by reason of the surprise. Then Placido, a very stout individual, grabbed Aguinaldo, who weighed only about 115 pounds, threw him down, and sat on him until General Funston came. General Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines, was captured. On the morning of March 25th, Aguinaldo and 3 of his men were marched to the seashore at Palanan Bay, arriving there at noon. The Americans made 2 signal fires and hoisted a white flag. A little later, a steamer rose on the horizon. Within 2 hours, the Vicksburg was anchored near the beach. During the trip, Aguinaldo admitted to Funston that he had been completely fooled by the phony dispatches. He later confided that he could hardly believe myself to be a prisoner, and that he was gripped by a feeling of disgust and despair, for I had failed my people and my motherland. In due course, the Vicksburg arrived in Manila Bay without the knowledge of a single soul in Greater Manila. Aguinaldo was presented to General Arthur C. MacArthur Jr. as a prisoner of war, but was most graciously treated by the general as distinguished soldier's guest at the Malacanang Palace from March 28 until April 20th. In his annual report for 1901, General MacArthur described the capture of Aguinaldo as the most momentous single event of the year. Aguinaldo was the incarnation of the insurrection. The general thought so much of him that he considered him worth many hundred times his weight in gold, and had watched him day and night by a commissioned officer. Aguinaldo complimented his captors. At all times since our capture, as well in Palanan as on board the Vicksburg, we have been treated with the highest consideration by our captors, as well as by the other American officers with whom we have had in contact. So, dyan na lang nagtatapos yung kwento natin, no, tungkol sa matagumpay na pagdakip ng mga Amerikano din noon sa presidenteng Emilio Aguinaldo sa Palanan, Isabela. So, hindi ordinaryong mission yon yung isinagawa nila para madakip si Emilio Aguinaldo sa lugar na yon, dahil sobrang liblib talaga ng lugar na yon. Hanggang ngayon, yung mga tao doon, ang tanging connection lang nila para makapunta sa mga ibang lugar ay kundi sa pamamagitan ng mga bangka or ng mga iba pang naglalayag sa dagat. So napakahirap, liblib na lugar ang Palanan magpasa hanggang ngayon. So sana nagustuhan niyo yung episode natin ngayon sa History by Bike. Huwag kalimutan mag-like, share, and subscribe sa aking YouTube channel. So this is History by Bike. Maraming salamat, and hanggang sa muli sa susunod na episode.